For those of you that are going to practice with me today, I invite you to make sure that your space is clear so that you can move. I'd recommend that you can, we're going to be doing standing work today, and I'm going to suggest that you have some water on hand so that you're well hydrated. If you've got any kind of medical conditions, I would work gently, and if at any point you feel unwell, then just stop. Qigong is a practice that works with both the physical and the energetic aspects of our being, and so it's important that you just really monitor yourself as you explore today. There's a little bit of an introduction earlier about me, and so you've got a sense of what it is that I do. I work in different disciplines, and if you have any further questions on that, then you can email me directly. You can find me at jamesfoulkes@hotmail.com. I'll get someone to put that in the comments later. Let's see. So we're going to do something called the 8 Silk Brocade today, which is a Qigong set that is very powerful. And just a couple of principles that I'm going to be looking for you to maintain throughout. So we're going to be moving with the arms primarily, and also with the spine, a little bit with the knees. I'm going to ask you to maintain the tongue on the roof of your mouth throughout the practice, okay? So as we work, you're going to place the tongue very lightly on the top of onto the hard palate. This completes what's called the microcosmic orbit, which is a circuit that runs up the back of the body and down the front of the body. So you're lightly going to maintain the tongue on the roof of the mouth beforehand. Now, this microcosmic orbit is foundational in Chinese medicine, and it's basically, for those of you in Washington, D.C., welcome back, Misha. For those of you in Washington, D.C., the circulation of the energy around the middle of the body is really like the 495 of the body. It's keeping the flow of energy around the whole system. So by placing the tongue on the roof of the mouth, you create that link. I'm just going to make sure you pin me in the middle of the screen so any of the sound doesn't kind of take you off. And the way that we express the microcosmic orbit is if we have our feet together, and we're going to lift the arms up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to put the fingertips together, so just the tips of the fingers, and then you're going to bring the hands down the front of the body, all the way down towards your lower belly, okay? So inhale, bring the arms up, tongue on the roof of the mouth, and exhale, lowering slowly down the front. So your exhalation coordinates with the lowering of the arms. Let's do that one more time. We do this in groups of 3. This is called Wujiwan Qifa. We're going to do this in between each of our main movements in the 8 Silk Brocade. So lowering down. Good. Let's step out to shoulder level. So your feet are about shoulder width, knees slightly bent. First movement in the 8 Silk Brocade is to have your hands just up above your head as if you're opening a tall window, and your knees are slightly bent, and then you're going to lift up with the arms and lift onto the balls of the feet. Okay? Now just start slowly with this so you don't strain your shoulders. So inhale, and then exhale onto the balls of the feet, gently stretching up. So let's try this a couple of times. Inhale, exhale. So kind of imagine an accordion gathering in towards the center, and then exhale, moving away from the center. And as you get more comfortable with the movement, you can invite your elbows to straighten a little more and allow your shoulder girdle to open. Now, find your own rhythm with this. So don't worry about my speed. Find your breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 2 more of these. So the 8 Silk Brocade is 8 movements, 8 times. But we're going to add, let's do 1 more here. We're going to add this Wujiwan Qifa movement to activate, let's lower the arms down, to activate the microcosmic orbit in between each movement. So feet together again. Notice how your shoulders feel, shoulders nice and relaxed. Inhale, arms up. Fingertips touch, and exhale again down the front of the body. swallowing as the hands pass the face. So you feel the fluid movement through the throat, down into the digestive system, matching your movements to your breath. So you can feel that physical dropping of the saliva. Do one more, inhaling up. And exhale gently back down. Hands coming all the way down, past the lower belly, past the navel, good. And then step back out to shoulder width. Second movement here, it's called the archer. You're going to take one hand, you're going to make a kind of a claw, and then the other hand you're going to stretch across. Okay, so with this second hand, you've got this action. Okay, so feet are shoulder width, and you're going to sit back and draw back. Okay, now we start this movement by gathering, inhale, and then other side. So claw and two fingers. It's called the archer. Now, in this kind of setting, the main thing is your intention. You want to gently stretch through the ligaments of the arms, elbow level with the hand. So elbow of one hand level with the hand of the other. Inhale to center and exhale across to the other side, looking towards your hand like an archer drawing back their bowstring. Let's keep going with this. Inhale and exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Now, you don't want to make it too hard, so it's like a soft, elastic feeling through the shoulders and the arms. One more on each side. Good. And last one. Drawing back. Good. Then feet back to center again. Let's come back to our Wuju Wan Chi Fa movement. So arms up, inhale. Tongue on the roof of the mouth, and exhale down the front of the body. Shoulders relaxed. Visualize that movement up the back of your body, over your head, and down your front as you lift the arms. So this movement of the arms is an external expression of this microcosmic orbit, this 495 of the body. And last one, inhaling up. And exhale down. So you want to time your movements with your breathing in the moving aspects of our Qigong. Good. And then step back out again. So we've done the first two movements there. The next movement, we use this gesture of the hands, creating a triangle between the index fingers and the thumbs. So we start with the hands in front of us, similar to how we had them before, but this is called looking for the moon. You're going to turn and flip your palms up as you look through your hands. And then back to center, and then try the other side. So without straining, turn and look up between your hands. Good. Back to center so the palms face you, and then across to the other side. So your palms flip away from you as you look up towards the moon. Back to center. Turning. So don't pull aggressively on the spine. Soft turn. Let's keep going with this. Back to center, palms face you, and then turn. Hands in, rotate. Let's do one more on each side. Shoulders relax. Breathing. Back to center. Turning. And then turn back to the midline, feet back together, and once again, Wuju Wan Chi Fa. So arms up. And we want to have this sense that as we're flowing through the movements here, there's an unbroken stream of movement and breath. This is what starts to create this powerful, soft exercise that's used throughout the Chinese healing arts. So it's almost like pearls on a necklace. Each movement is an individual pearl, and they're all kind of woven together through the whole necklace, lowering the hands back down, and then stepping back out to shoulder width. So we've done 3 of the 4 movements, 3 of the first 4 movements. There's 8 in total. Now, next one, we bring the hands into center, same as we did before, with the hands away from the body. This time, bring the hands close as if you're condensing a ball in front of you. Then you're going to take one palm up, one palm down, and split that ball as you come onto the balls of the feet. So one palm presses down, other palm presses up, come onto the toes. Good. Back to center. So inhale, gather, condense, split, opposite hands this time, and distribute. So you're starting to work with the left and the right side of the body, so you're asymmetrical. Again, inhale, gather, condense, split, and distribute. Come onto the balls of the feet as you stretch. Good. Let's keep going with that. Inhale, gathering in, split, and exhale. Again, you're not overstretching. You want this feeling of elasticity. Let's do 2 more on each side. Inhale and exhale. Smile and breathe. Let the movement be easy and relaxing. Hands in, knees slightly bent, and then onto the balls of the feet and stretch the legs. One palm down, one palm up. 1 more on each side. Inhale, gather, condense, split, and distribute. So we're moving energy through the meridians with our movements. Inhale, split, and distribute. Good. And then release. Feet back to center. Wuji-1 Chifa. Arms up. Fingertips touch at the top. Exhale, lowering the hands down. Take a moment to swallow as the hands pass the face. So again, you can feel that movement of physical matter as well as energy sliding down. Inhale and exhale. Shoulders relax. Focus gently on what you're doing. So you don't need to be thinking, just focus on what you can feel. Exhale, slowly lowering down. So we've done half of this mini sequence, the 8 silk brocade. We've done the first 4. Step back out to shoulder width. Just loosen your shoulders a little bit, make sure you're comfortable. The next movement is a side bend. So you're going to take one of your arms high up and over. And then you're going to inhale back to center and exhale, go the other way. So very easy movement, this one. Again, don't stretch too hard. As you can see, we're combining movement with breath. So this is a wonderful practice to support respiratory health. So easy movement. Inhale to center. Exhale up and over. Let's keep going. 2 more on each side. Take your time. Find your own breathing rhythm to determine your own moving rhythm. Your movements follow your breath. 1 more on each side. Exhale across. Inhale back to center. And exhale. Good. Lower the arms down. Feet back to center. Wuji-1 Chifa again. Fingertips up. Touch at the top. Exhale gently down the front of the body. Swallowing. Good. 2 more of those. Take your time. So as we get into the practice, you can begin to feel movement and aliveness and flow throughout the body. And this sequence was actually developed by a military general more than 1,000 years ago to support his troops as they were walking many, many miles a day with very little food. So this was their energy for the day. Back out to shoulder width. Now, for the next one, you're going to take the thumb and place it on the base of the ring finger, okay, on each side. And then you're going to close your fists around your thumbs, put your hands on your hips, bend the knees a little bit more deeply this time. And then you're going to inhale, reach out with the arm, and then twist the hand, bring it back in towards the center. Very simple. So inhale, hand out. Exhale, twist the wrist, bring the hand back in. Let's keep going with that. So inhale, Deep breath, twist the wrist, bring it back towards the hip. Again. Twisting the wrist, bring it back towards the hip. Let's do 2 more on each side. Inhale and exhale. So again, you're looking at timing. You can sit a little lower with this one. Let the back of the waist lengthen so you're dropping your tail. 1 more on each side. This works with what's called the triple heater, which is a non-physical organ in the Chinese medicine system. Good. Feet together. Ujjayi Shifa. So arms back up. And exhale. Keep that flow. Hands lowering back down again. So arms up. Exhale. Soften. Swallow. Good. 1 more. So that's movement 6 of 8. We've got 2 major movements left. This is our intermediary movement. Come back out to shoulder width with the feet. The next one is called swimming in the lake. You take both arms up and over and then lower the arms down the front, bending the knees. Okay, so let's try that 8 times. So arms up, almost like a butterfly stroke in swimming. Lower the hands down, soften the knees. So you keep the heels down for this one. Straighten the legs as the arms lift. Lower the hands as the arms sink. So nice deep breaths, inhaling and exhale. So what these movements do is they access different parts of the body. As you explore the different movements, they awaken different meridians and energy patterns within the living system. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do 2 more of these. Keep the arms relatively straight if it feels comfortable for your shoulders. If your shoulders are a little tight, you can make the movement a little bit smaller. So last one, inhaling up and exhale gently back down. Very good. Feet together. Ujjayi Shifa 3 times. Arms up. Fingertips touch. Exhale down the front. Swallowing again as the hands pass the face. 2 more. Breathing in. So you really start to feel that your breath is driving your movement. Okay, last movement of this particular mini sequence. We're going to make soft fists and place them on the kidney area. Okay? And then what you're going to do here is you're going to bounce your knees and rub up and down the kidney region. So keep your shoulders nice and relaxed and bounce the knees and massage the kidneys with the back of the fists. And you can lean forward slightly and look down to get your lower back to protrude out slightly. And just nice, big, deep, normal breaths here. The kidneys are like the batteries of the body. Where we go for sustained action, they link to the adrenal function, which is this kind of stimulating component of our energy system. Where we go to when we're tired, we tend to, in our culture, run on adrenaline a little bit. So just sliding up and down. Now keep going with it. Keep bouncing the knees. Wake up the kidneys. Let's do 2 more deep breaths here. Good, and then lower the arms down. Feet together again. Ujjayi Shifa, arms back up. Notice any subtle sensations that you're aware of in your body now. You may feel tingling. You may feel heat. Nice deep breaths. Arms up. Exhale, softly lower down. Hands back down towards the belly. And last one. And just to seal this whole series in, we're going to make this mudra or gesture down at the belly Gentlemen, right hand outside. Ladies, left hand outside. Non-binary, you can just place your hands in the center. So ladies, left hand on the outside. Gentlemen, right hand on the outside. And then just put the hands on the lower belly. And then just settle for a moment. Soften your eyes. And just feel the effects of the practice on your being. Elbows and shoulders relaxed. So soften your elbows and your shoulders. And just tune into yourself for several deep breaths. Notice what stands out in your awareness. Maybe you can feel heat or tingling or buzzing sensations, or maybe something else. Okay, now we've still got plenty of time. I wanted to give you that little sequence because it's quite discreet. There were 8 movements in it. We integrated a movement throughout that kind of helped the energies to flow through the whole circuit. But we're going to do a little bit of another practice now that comes from a different kind of Qigong. So we're going to start with the feet together for this one. And this is basically going to take all of the energy that we've basically cultivated in the last one and then distribute it around the body. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to step out to shoulder width, and then you're going to lift your arms up towards the ceiling and out to the sides. Come onto the balls of the feet. So you're kind of balancing, and then visualize all of your joints opening. So opening the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, all of the vertebrae, the hips, the knees. Now we're going to lower ourselves down. Now only go as low as you can comfortably. If you're comfortable, you can bend the knees a lot. If you're not, then don't go too low. And then little jump, and then we're going to shake. We're going to shake the body open. Now what the shaking does is it basically vibrates throughout the living system. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of your body from a shaking perspective. And it's going to help to really shift any blocks of energy that you identified through our 8 silk brocade. So let's start with the fingers. Wake up the fingers and the thumbs. Get all the joints of the hands moving. Keep the shaking going, and then into the wrist joints, different kinds of movements of the wrists. Gently does it. Now you know your body, you know the areas you need to take care of. If you've got something happening in your body that requires additional care, then please be attentive to that. Let's come into the elbow joints. So keep the arms, upper arm still, and just move the lower arm. So the elbow and the rotational aspect of the forearm. Good. And then release. And let's circle the shoulders. So I'm taking my elbows up and back. Now take your time and feel your body. So just bouncing gently from one foot to another. You can have one heel down as you shake, and then the other heel down. So you're kind of vibrating through the body. And let's circle into the neck a little bit. So small movements of the neck. Necks can get stiff under stress and pressure, particularly in 2020. Good. And then let's take the arms out to the side, still gently shaking and bouncing through the legs to wake up the heart and the lungs. So visualize as you stretch the arms out, palms face up, that your lungs and heart are beginning to kind of vibrate and shake. So you're bouncing your knees a little bit. Good, and then release the arms down. And we're going to wake up the belly area, tapping into your abdomen gently. It's a sticky tap, so it draws away from the center. And you can just work through the whole of your abdomen. So if you lean towards the left, you connect with your liver. If you lean towards the right, you connect with your stomach. And then you've got your intestines in the middle, down towards your bladder. Crisscross the hands, wake up the belly, and then come towards your hips and drawing out away from the hips a little bit. And then you can come round to your lower back, similar to the end of the 8 silk brocade. Wake up your kidneys again, down towards your lower back. gentle vibration, deep breaths. So just stimulating that whole kidney lower back region right down towards your sacrum. Good. And then from there, we're going to shape the spine. So we're going to shape the spine in several ways. One with a gentle turn of the spine. So let this movement be small and easy. You can turn your head slightly as you do this. Breathing deeply through the nose. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. Good. Come back to center. And then what we're going to do from here is roll down through the spine. So head drops, keep the knees bouncing, and then roll down through the back. So you're towards a forward bend and then back up. Head comes up last. Let's do that again. Deep breath. Head leads. Roll down through the spine, bouncing the knees to open the intervertebral discs. And then slowly back up. Good. Now keep the shaking going. The whole of your upper body has been shaken open now. So feel your upper body and feel how alive it feels. So I'm just bouncing from one side to the other. I've got my whole foot flat on the ground as I shake. And you're just kind of beginning to let all of the stuckness of the body begin to release. We're going to loosen into the hips now. Hands onto the waist. Circle the hips. So get your middle to move. Change directions. Relaxing your face and your jaw and your eyes. Good. Okay, from here, if it's comfortable, you can pick up the knee and circle it out. So you're opening a little bit into the hip. So we're going down into the lower body now, opening the legs up. You can pick up the knee a little bit if it feels stiff. And just try and let that hip joint open a little bit. Good. And then from there, just gently shake the knee. So you kind of just soft shake into the knee joints. And then down to the ankle and let your foot waggle. So let your whole foot kind of get loose. Just waggling your foot. And then you can stamp a little bit and wake up the soles of the feet. Good. And then we've worked all the way through the body here. So now 2 minutes on your own, any kind of movement you want, any area of your body that doesn't feel awake yet. So find your breathing rhythm, find your shaking rhythm. What movement does your body instinctively tell you it needs? Deep breaths. Follow your breathing rhythm, follow your shaking rhythm. Unlock your body, letting the chi flow all the way through. One more minute, freestyle shaking, any movement you want to make. Good, and then when you're ready, let's come to stillness. Feet parallel. Fingers stretched down. Become very, very still. Soften your knees. Stretch your fingers down lightly. Engage your toes onto the ground. Feel the residue of the shaking. Feel the buzzing. Feel the tingling. Feel the heat. Maybe feel some cold areas. Notice your sensations. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. Feel the effects of the chi beginning to wake up. So as well as all of the physiological changes of fluid flows and muscular shifts, tendon and ligament changes, skeletal changes. You can feel that there's something else here that underpins that. Feet together. Come back to Wuji Wan Qifo again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down the front of the body. Let's do 3 of these, so 2 more. Find your breathing rhythm. Maybe your breath feels a little bit longer now, perhaps. Doesn't matter if it doesn't, but just notice whether you've freed your respiratory system with our movements this afternoon. Good. And the last thing we're going to do together as part of our little Qigong exploration here today is standing poses. Now, Qigong tends to be a mixture of stillness and movement. We've looked at movement so far. Now we're going to look at stillness. In this first position, the hands face the ground, palms level with the front of the hips, slightly away from the body, knees bent, feet flat to the floor. Now, close your eyes as much as you're comfortable. Now, if you have any kind of balance challenges, just leave your eyes just a little bit open. The rest of you can close your eyes. Let your elbows come slightly wide. Palms facing the ground. This first standing position connects you into the ground through both your feet and your hands. And you might have a tangible sense of something non-physical in the hands. Imagine you're sitting on a tall stool, so just tuck your tail very slightly, as if you're about to perch onto a stool behind you. Deep breaths, shoulders relax. Any tension in the body, try and let it go down into the ground. So like ice that becomes water and drains downhill. So shoulder tension, let go, release down to the feet. Hip tension, lower back tension, let go, down towards the feet. Second position, we've seen this in other parts of our Qigong today. It's called holding the tree, where the palms face you, palms of the hands pointing towards the heart. So you've got a round space. Imagine you were holding a tree trunk. Bend the thumb joint slightly. Just a little bit of a bend in the thumb. Palms face the heart. This is a self-healing position. Visualize energy circling through the arms. So round in a loop. Good. Third position, flip the palms up so the palms are facing the sky. Fingers point back towards the eyebrows. This is receiving celestial energy. Sun, moon, and stars. We have these huge energy sources in our universe that are accessible via our living system. We're as much a part of nature as the rivers, the mountains, and the stars. So can we invite a receiving of celestial energy through the palms? Shoulders relax. Deep breath. Good. And then the last position we'll adopt is having the hands on the groins with the thumbs pointing forward. So elbows wide, fingers sort of point down towards the base of the pelvis, and you can rest your little finger onto your hip. And this invites us to open what in Chinese practice they call the Hua. The Hua is everything between the knee and the solar plexus. So lift up a little bit through your belly, but keep your knees bent. So you have this sense of this connection between knees and diaphragm. And this is the engine of the body, involved in all of our walking and running and sitting. Remember to tuck your tail slightly. Deep breaths. Little finger rests onto the groins, thumbs point forwards, hand is gently open, shoulders relax. Good. And then when you're ready, bring your feet together and arms back up, Wujiwan Chifa. Again, notice what you're noticing. Lower the hands down gently through the front of the body. Swallowing as the hands pass the face. Let's do 2 more of those. Breathe in. Looking up towards your hands as the arms lift. Swallow as the hands pass the face. And again, we'll seal, as we did earlier, after the initial practice. Bringing your hands gently down towards the lower belly area. Ladies, left hand on top. Gentlemen, right hand on top. Non-binary in the center with the tips of the fingers together. And then just close your eyes and seal all that energy in. Notice what you're noticing after the shaking and the standing positions. Okay, well done everybody. We've just got 5 minutes left on our call. Thank you for attending this part today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions for me in relation to the Qigong, as Misha's pointing out, I teach regular classes on Zoom, both Qigong and yoga, if anybody is interested. My email address is jamesfoulkes@hotmail.com. You can also find me on my website, www.jamesfoulkes.com. That's Foulkes. And any questions that remain, I'll pass it over. And if there's anything related to Qigong, please feel free to ask.
Thank you so much. That was really spectacular. I feel amazing. And I'm sure everyone will want the information to follow up and do this again. So we will definitely include that in the email that we send out in follow up so everyone can tune into you on Zoom.
Thank you. If I'm not following the questions in the chat, so if anybody has asked questions about Qigong in the chat, please let me know.
James, there was one question, and I'm so sorry that I finally gotten on a better connection. I just went out.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, well, good. So there was one good question. I think you may want to answer part of it. If you can't do the full sequence, should I just do the part of it? I said, yes, you should, but I don't know if you want to add something to it.
Yeah, no, there's always ways to adjust the movements to accommodate any body or any physical condition. That might take a more tailored approach. So sometimes I do one-on-ones with people so that we can refine the movements for that particular individual. But yeah, you don't need to do 8 of each. We had time today to do the full 8 silk brocades, so I did so. And I hope you sort of realize some of the benefits of that and you could feel how it affected your body and your energy. But yeah, you can always do an abridged version. If you've only got 5 minutes, just doing a few of these Wujiwan Chifas can be very effective. And I hope everybody enjoyed today. So thank you.
There's another question about there are many different styles and what is the difference?
Right, so there are thousands of styles of Qigong from different regions and different families within, mostly in China, but throughout Asia. And they all have a slightly different emphasis and they look at slightly different ways to explore the overall objectives, which is sort of health and awareness and vitality. And basically by practicing a system over a long period of time, you begin to understand the nuances of that particular system. But broadly, they're focusing on the same thing of vibrant health and vitality. So this particular system is one of the common